Welcome to the 2026 IPF World Sub-Junior, Junior Classic and Equipped Powerlifting Championships live in Sun City, South Africa, and brought to you by none other than Aleco and SBD. And we've got an exciting morning this morning. I'm Gary Williams, and I am joined by none other, all the way from the French coast, Alex Nordin. And we've got the 93s and the 105s today, and this is going to be a good session, I think.
It is. It's going to be a little confusing because we have two groups, and it's going to be mixed group. We have one group that's consisting of only 93s, and in the second group we have 4 93s and 8 105s.
Yeah, so we have the top 4 nominations of the 93s will move into the 105s, simply just to balance out the flights a little bit and stick within the IPF rule books. So we'll try and keep you up to date with anything. So bear in mind that the first flight is the 93 kilo weight class in the sub-juniors. So the outcome of this won't be determined until the 4 93s in the second flight lift. So we'll try and keep you up to date with that as best we possibly can.
Yeah, I think you can make for some interesting storylines. Yesterday we've seen medals in the B group. I'm pretty sure we can see that today. We've seen world record attempts, some interesting attempt selection. I'm thinking about Algeria yesterday, not going for the world record, but wanting to round it up to 800.
That was a very interesting attempt.
We'll see how that turns out today.
Sidhu Dilpreet, straight off the bat for Canada in the 93s, 175. Some big opening lifts here today.
Yeah, range of openers from 175 to 252.5. And the two biggest opener on the other group, we have 265 and 275 for Iruza and Cohen.
Yeah, some big numbers coming. Sinks it in for his first squat of the day.
Yeah, nice and easy, 3 white lights. And when I look at the standings, I see that most of them are born in 08, so they are final year, maybe final competition as sub-juniors.
Yeah, getting to the end of their sub-junior tenure. Azriel Chevelle from South Africa, 210. Azriel's still got a couple of years left in the juniors, I think.
Yeah, he's the youngest of the flight, born in 2010.
Looks like a solid opening squat. 3 whites, the way to get started. Dips in at the bottom there, nice little squat. Will Quarrel now from Great Britain, 215.
Team GB got a world champion yesterday. He forecasted 6th in the weight class. It seems a little far to even contend for the podium. But we've seen surprises happen yesterday. Team GB took some big jumps, so let's not count them out yet.
Yeah, stranger things have happened. No messing around with that one. 3 whites.
Yeah, nice and easy, but it took a bit of time for him to receive that squat command. Maybe it was a little too tilted forward at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself in that position with that low bar squat. It can be a little bit hard to get into that locked sort of upright position. Ashil Clark Jayan from Australia now, 217 and a half. It's a great performance from the Aussie yesterday, Evan Coburn, taking the bronze medal overall.
Wow, super comfortable opener from Team
Moves that
Australia
really
there.
well, didn't he?
But one red from the front, maybe because he has huge squats, he looks a little pull from the front.
Yeah, it's always hard to sort of judge depth from the front. The bigger the athletes get, the bigger their quads get. And it can look a bit high. But we've got 3 referees and a 3-man jury as well. Pablo Garcia Martinez, 220 kilos. Gets down nice and deep. 3 whites. Doesn't give the referees any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, that plenty of depth on that squat. But the thing is, you don't want to overdo it in the first round and cut a little more depth in the second, because it's going to look different and it's going to bias the judgment of the referees.
Yeah, you should be training to depth at the same point every time. Angus Winstanley from Australia, 230. Got some experience in his corner there. Connor from Perth and WA. Powerlifting in Australia has been growing rapidly in WA, actually, in Western Australia. 3 whites.
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 coaches of Australia and almost a full team this year.
Yeah, good to see their sub-junior and junior teams getting bigger and bigger. Wise Christian from South Africa now, 230 kilos.
He's brought to the platform by one of our referees of this championship, so supposedly standards are not going to be a problem.
You would certainly hope not.
Looks like a lovely opener to me too. The 1, a good lift, 1 red coming from a side. Keep in mind that it is very possible for a lifter to look asymmetrical at the bottom. One hip could be low enough, the other one very borderline. I think based on that replay, it should be fine.
Yeah, based on that replay, it looks good. I mean, as we say all the time, referees have got a split second to make a decision. So that all they can do is go on what they see. Jose David Figueiredo de Pierre, 237.5.
These guys seem to be on another nice and easy opener. However, a red from the front.
Yeah, so far we've seen really good lift selections for opener. It's an easy mistake to make. You come to a World Championship competition, lots of travel. You know, you've got to be willing to rethink your opening weights at a World Championship.
And do you think your opener and your game plan as a whole should be any different when the flight is longer than 8? Like when you have 11, is the plan different than it's when it's 7?
Yeah, I think that depends. It depends a lot on the athlete as well. But you know, you've got to be adaptable and flexible. I mean, if you suddenly show up and there's a flight of 6 people, you might reconsider your game plan. And again, if it's 14, you might reconsider your game plan. Right now, Peterson Cipriani from Brazil, 240. Probably a little slower than you would have liked for an opener, but it was never in doubt.
Yeah, maybe a little slower than anticipated. And the thing is, squat is the movement in which he creates the majority of his total. It's one of the 3 movements in which he shines the most, so he's going to need to wake up a little more.
Yeah, this is where he needs to put the numbers on. Third, de Klerk, 240. He has a wide stance and still has no problem with that.
But yellows might be for the elbows touching the thighs.
Let's have a look at the replay.
The thing is, you're only to receive a yellow when the contact is deemed helpful. Don't think it was the case here. It's touching, but is it really helping?
Yeah, there seemed to be contact there, but it didn't seem to provide any assist. Juan Carlos Espin. Mexico, 252.5 kilos on the bar. Fast in the bottom there, wasn't he?
Yep, very speedy, 3 white lights, and he's forecasted 4th in the weight class. I think that's the one we need to pay attention to out of the 93s of this group.
Yeah, he's certainly got a good chance of getting on the podium here. So we move into round 2, and of course the top 4 nominations in the 93s will lift with the 105s. So if you're watching the live scoreboard, don't be overly confused by it at the moment, and of course we'll look at the placings when we get to that. The 187.5 on the bar for Vilprit. There's another one on the board.
Yeah, already a personal best of 5 for the Preet. Do you think he can round it up to 200?
Azriel Chevelle, 225.
Match personal best for Azriel with that jump of 15.
Bit tough in the middle there, but still gets the job done.
I think it's one of those game plans where you're like, I want to make sure at least I get my personal best on the board, but you probably would have been better off lowering the second to try and get a personal best with more gas on the third.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a tough thing. I mean, if you go out too heavy on that second lift, I mean, as you said, you don't have a lot of gas left for the third lift, and it is extremely taxing. Squat is a large muscle group, using a lot of energy on those huge weights. The wheel at Coral now in Great Britain, 227.5. A little bit hesitant at the start there. Gets the 3 white lights though. It'll be a bit of a confidence booster for him.
Yeah. One thing he's going to want to pay attention to is that bar rolling on his back when the third round comes.
That's Clark Zian from Australia now, 230 kilos. And a fantastic opening squat.
He's seemingly a little more hyped up than his opener. He had 1 on the board, so now he's feeling a little more confident, probably.
Smooth and steady all the way through. Gets the lights.
But technique seems proper. There's nothing going out of line. Bar path is perfect. It makes for an easy coaching job because he seems very predictable.
Yeah, I think that's a really good example of keeping that technique. It doesn't matter, how much the weight changes. You hold that technique and drive it through. Garcia Martinez, 235.
Same exact squat as his opener,
Yeah,
3 white lights.
really great technique, just keeping it the same all the way through. Angus Winstanley from Australia now, 240, our second Australian lifter in this flight. Have to do a bit more work there, but as you'd expect for a second lift. I mean, your second lift is too easy, you probably should have put more weight on it. But he gets the job done, and that's the main thing. Cipriani now for 247.5.
And Cipriani's only jumping 7.5, the smallest jump out of the bunch. Do you think that was the plan second, or maybe because the first one was a little slow, they reduced the jump?
Yeah, look, I think when you come off that platform after a lift, you should be having a very quick conversation with your coach, and you really should be giving him an indication of how it felt, how hard it was. You've got a plan. Absolutely, here's my plan second lift, but you should have a plan B and a plan C as well, and that's determined on when you come off the platform. And in this case, maybe he's come off the platform and thought, you know what, let's not up it too much. That felt a bit slow.
Yeah, of course, there's an ideal scenario, but you have to adapt to what you have on the day.
And you can see that was definitely a good choice. He is reaching the end there, but he still gets the job done. And I think that's something that we've seen really a lot of over this last week and a half is the maturity in lift selections and being adaptable. I mean, quite often it's easy to get carried up in the moment, and you want all this, you want this, you want that. But to be mature enough to make these sort of lift selections based on how everything feels on the day, instead of the focus being, well, I totaled 800 last competition, I need to total 805 this one. Unfortunately, powerlifting just isn't linear like that. You might total 800 one competition, 780 the next, 100, 810 the next one. It's not linear. You've got to live for the day.
Especially when it comes to world standards, traveling and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Jose David now 250. 3 whites. The guy's doing a great job this morning. I think it's been great this last couple of weeks as well. We've got representation in the sub-union juniors from so many countries. I mean, that's just a demonstration of how the sport is growing across these nations as well. The sub-juniors and juniors, these are our future open world champions. This is where the sport is born and grown. Christian, South Africa, 250. Doesn't look much different from his opener.
However, double reds for lack of depth.
So we'll have a look at the replay on that one. Of course, the jury will probably have a look as well. So he's got one from the front ref and the side ref. Hard to tell on that replay. The jury seem to be satisfied that it's a no lift. De Klerk now, 255. Of course, it's a 3-man jury, so it has to be majority. Gets in nice and deep there. Gets a yellow card from the side referee, though.
Might be for the elbows again. Once again, a low contact for sure, but
Yeah, I think that's what the side referee sees. They've got to call that on, and that's a fair call. Juan Carlos Espin from Mexico, 265. And of course, Mexico has been growing rapidly in the sport of powerlifting. We're seeing a much larger representation from Mexico in the last several competitions over the last couple of years, and they have been outstanding this week as well.
Just nice and easy down and up. He doesn't seem to struggle. 2-1,
Yeah,
a good lift.
not at all, and I love the head lift at the end to really pop the chest up and get that bar moving at the top. He's in a pretty good position all the way through, holds it well. As he gets to here, just pops the head up and shifts the chest up, and you can see the bar pick up speed. So moving to the third round already with Dilpreet now from Canada, 200 kilos, so he's rounding up to that nice 200 kilo milestone.
Hey, and even though we have 11 lifters in the group, it's pretty fast paced.
It is moving very, very quickly. The spotting crew has been outstanding all week. They've got a huge job, not just spotting and loading, but their responsibility of keeping our athletes safe all the time. Have to work hard, but you would expect to be working hard for a personal best of 200 kilos. What a finish for him on the squats.
Yeah, new milestone unlocked. That's a feel-good squat for sure.
He had to work for every kilo there. Great determination though. Azrael Chevelle, South Africa, 230. It's a little 5 kilo jump from his second. I think is probably a smart move, not overtaxing it. Keep some in the tank for the bench and the deadlift. It's easy to get carried away on the squat and really try and go all out of that third one, and then you've got nothing left in the tank for your next lifts. And a well chosen third lift there.
Great way to fight and stay with the bar. 3 white lights, 3 for 3 in the squat event for Adriel.
Will Coral now from Great Britain, 232.5.
Looking to add another 5 to his squat for a personal best of 2.5.
And just a little bit too much at the bottom. For the last 2 lifts, he was a little hesitant at the start. Sort of suggest he didn't really have 100% confidence in himself. But that will grow over time. He's got many years ahead of him. He's got the juniors to build into now.
And still that belt rolling, I think it's a critical part of his lift.
Lashio Clark Zayan from Australia now, 235.
PB attempt of 2.5 for Dashio.
Yeah, and I think this is a nice choice as well, just a 5 kilo jump. You saw his second one slowed him down a bit. You've still got 6 lifts to come. You don't want to leave everything here on the squats. Oh, came to a standstill and keeps it moving. Did the bar dip? One referee says it does, the other 2 say it's good, and I think it is.
That's a very tough squat to judge.
That is a difficult call to make on that one. I will leave that in the hands of the jury for sure. Garcia Martinez, 242.5. I think the jury's in consensus that they're okay with that lift. Three whites. Been very, very consistent.
A very green scoreboard. These guys are looking good.
Angus Winstanley from Australia as well, 247.5. So our second Aussie on the platform.
The thing is, these guys are shooting in the dark. With the top 4 being in the other group, they know they need to collect as many kilos as possible, but they won't know what will be required for medals or anything.
Yeah, it's a really tough position to be in because you know when you're all lifting together, you can see what everyone else is doing. You can see what I need to get onto the podium. But it's a real challenge here. So all you can do is sort of put your best foot on and sit back and then hope for the best. Another good lift from Australia. So Peterson Cipriani from Brazil, 250.
The thing is, I would not trust his forecast because they put in a fake deadlift opener at 215. So as of right now, he's forecasted in 13th position when he's nominated in 6th.
You don't want to give everything away before the competition. You want to keep your competitors guessing. Gets it to the top. 3 whites, it's a good lift.
Out of 3 attempts, 2 were personal best. He's looking good.
Jose David Figueroa Tipia, 255. Now you'll see the rankings come up on your screen. Obviously, those rankings aren't final until we have the other 4 93s lift. Showing some respect to the platform crew.
Yeah, I love me a good luck fist bump.
Well, he started smiling as he got past that sticking point. He wasn't smiling before that.
Well selected third once again.
Weiss Christian now from South Africa. Missed 250 on his second. That was on a technical error. Now going to 262 and a half.
Really sinks it in. It looks different than from his previous attempt. 3 white lights.
Yeah, gets that one down nice and deep, not giving any doubt to the referees there.
And great way to trust yourself too. Like you miss 250 and you go for 262.5.
Yeah, it takes a bit of courage, that one.
Yeah, gutsy move.
Third, de Klerk, 265. And he gets a whole bag of Skittles on that one. All the colours of the rainbow going on board there. The 2 yellows and a blue. And I'm guessing the yellows.
The yellows are tough.
It's soft for the lockout at the top as well, I think. So 277 and a half on the bar for one color spin from Mexico. A little more focused on this one. It's a big personal best for him.
And it very much could be a squat medal too.
Yeah, this puts him up at number 1 for the squat medal. Obviously, we've got the 4 more lifters to come, but 277.5, that is a respectable lift if he puts this on the board and could well keep him on the podium. Well,
From
he
afar,
moved it like it was nothing.
yeah, from afar it looked optimized, and it's just the same 3 white lights. He's so efficient, very,
He
very
just
fast
does
with his
not mess
squat.
around, does he?
He doesn't. This guy is on. He's the real deal and a big threat from the B group.
Yeah, I think you could find him sneaking on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, he was nominated 7th.
So there are current squat standings for the 93s. Obviously, we've got to wait, but Espen there with 277.5, Christian 262.5, and de Klerk with 255. So they are the current leaders for the squats, but obviously we've got 4 more lifts to come as we move into the 105s and the final 4 93s. So we start off with Alexander Kopkin from Canada, 152.5. Make short work of that one. 3 white lights, no messing around. Wilhelm Brewer, South Africa now 215. So we haven't got too long to wait to see who will be crowned squat champion for the 93s. See a couple of people who have adjusted their opening lifts. Wilhelm, one of them. He is a very, very tall lifter. You can see the spotting crew almost having to reach up to put the bar back in the rack there.
Yeah, but the day he fills out his frame is going to be a menace.
He's got a long way, got many years ahead of him, hasn't he?
Yep. That's what being a sub-junior is these days. And I feel like more and more sub-juniors have understood what it means to move up a weight class, long-term development, which wasn't the case 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I think you're right there. And you look at Wilhelm there, he only weighed in at 102.15 this morning in the 105, so he's got a lot of room to grow yet. Mohammed Lamine. 240 on the bar.
Interestingly, forecasted 9th when he's nominated 3rd. So what's happening there? Can we expect big jumps? Are these openers fake ones? Pretty fast, pretty smooth.
Yeah, good work from Mohammed there. I've met Mohammed a couple of times already this week. His Libyan friends are in the room next door to me. He's knocked on my door multiple times with the wrong room. And every time I open the door, he's got the biggest smile on his face. So he's here having a great time as well as doing some great lifts as well. Luis Felipe Nealand, 240 from Brazil. Oh, that was a tough opener. He got down well and came into the hole well, but it just was probably not as quick as what he wanted to be for an opener.
Just like the Brazilian in the previous group, and then he's regained, so I wouldn't count him out yet.
Yeah, it's just warming up to it. Adam Gault from Great Britain, 250. sinks that in deep. 3 white lights. Referee's not having anything to think about there. He's doing their job for them.
Yeah, that might have been a little too much. You're gonna have to create a new color when you're too deep.
Lassi Martinium, Finland, 250. Finnish coaches there. Very well-known figure in every competition, particularly at World Bench and World Equipped. You're always giving me the incorrect pronunciation of their athletes' names just to mess with me. Lassi there with a great opening lift. Gets one.
So a yellow, is that for elbows again?
It looks like there's going to be an elbow touch there. I don't think it's providing any assist. I mean, you would have to be quite skilled to be able to really use your elbows as an assist. Joseph Hopkinson, New Zealand, 255. If you're a New Zealander and a rugby fan, you would have loved the rugby last night. And 3 white lights gets that on the board.
Yeah, it's a good day to be from New Zealand in South Africa.
Ethan Cohen now. So we are back in the 93s for these next couple of lifts. Ethan Cohen, 260. One Espen will be out the back with a very nervous wait to see if he holds on to a medal in the squats in the 93s. Gets in deep. Great speed at the top there. Super fast second half to that lift there.
Yeah, very solid opener from our favorite of the day, at least on paper, but we have now Team Mexico that's pushing from the B group. And 8 more attempts to go, so all to play for in the 93s.
Yeah, Dante Aquiza, 267.5. So this will put him in silver with a couple of lifts to go.
Could you imagine a double podium for Team Mexico in the 93s?
An absolutely fantastic moment for Mexico would be. They are growing so much in this sport. And
In and out of equipment too.
Yeah, and
They do
their
both.
technical proficiency this week has been absolutely outstanding. And a fantastic opening lift there.
A lot of head movements all throughout the lift. It's almost like he's driving his lift with his head.
Michael Cruz from the US now, 280, so we're back in the 105s to finish off the first round. And a couple more lifts.
The bar is loaded.
Forecasted seconds in the 105, quite a bit below his teammate Austin Wilson.
Good technique though. Chest up nice and high. 3 whites. Simon Gruszka now from Poland, 280.
The bar is loaded.
He finished 5th at Euros last year, and now he's forecasted 3rd in the 105. Seems like he's made good progress in 6 months.
And he gets one red light there and a red card from the side referee on depth. And I think it's probably just is quite hard to read with that very, very wide stance.
I think that replay does him justice.
Yeah, we've got a 3-man jury there that all has to be unanimous, so I think he's fine. Austin Wilson now, 305. He's the #1 ranked for squats. Probably going to be pretty hard to beat, I think, if his opening lift moves well.
He's nominated with 320. That's 25 kgs above the closest nominated squat.
And 2-1, he's got high call from the center and the side referee. Coach is going to have a chat with the jury.
It did look super fast, but questionable. And coach is immediately sent away. They agree with the ruling on the platform. It is a no lift for our favorite of the day.
Well, it brings into round 2 then. We just see if Austin sticks to the game plan or repeats the 305. I mean, it wasn't too heavy for him. There was no issue with weight whatsoever. Just needs to get down a little bit further. Kofkin from Canada now, 167.5 for his second lift.
Three white lights, a good lift, 2 for 2 so far.
He looks pretty happy with that.
South Africa, followed by Milan and gold.
And you would think, yeah, he's quite a bit below the others and stuff, but every expert has once been a beginner. Maybe he's the least experienced of the flight. Maybe he'll be the real deal next year. And that's still some solid experience being here at Worlds with all those strong guys. You benefit a lot from that.
That is what's going to make you better. I mean, I've coached athletes for a very, very long time, and one thing I've heard a lot in gyms over the years, young athletes will, say, when are you going to compete? I'll compete when my numbers are competitive. If you're going to wait till then, you're never going to compete because everyone competing keeps getting better. So your numbers are never going to be competitive. Get on the platform, get the platform experience. That's how you get better. Wilhelm Brewer, 225. That was a tough one. He has a long, long way to move that bar, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does, but 2 for 2. I don't know how much more he has in the tank. I'll be comfortable with anything in between 2.5 and 5. I think more might be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I'd be edging on the side of 2.5 there. Got to keep something in the tank. We've got bench and deadlift to go. I mean, it's all well and good putting on putting on the extra 5 and grinding it out, and maybe he'll get it. But the amount of energy he's going to expend getting those extra kilos might play a role in his bench and his deadlift.
Yeah,
Put
you
on
have
the
to think
2.5, play it safe.
benefit and risk. What are you getting out of it, and what are you losing?
Yeah, you really got to think about the long game. Luis Felipe Neyland, Brazil, 245. Yeah, so if you're getting into powerlifting, get in and compete. Local meets, whatever you can get to do, get in there, compete. You don't have to be a gold medalist every time you step on that platform. But the only way you are going to get better as an athlete is to do competitions. Oh, that was a tough one. Got a little bit scrappy in the middle there, but still does the job. Depth was never in doubt.
It doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to fit the rule book. Rules are rules.
We don't give extra points for style. 260.
Should we though?
I think we should have a style category. It certainly wouldn't benefit me.
It would in bench.
I have no style. Adam Gould 260. Yeah, he's got a really messy walkout and not really getting to that upright lock position.
Is it being upright or is it bar positioning?
Yeah, it could be bar positioning. I'm not sure. But great job, center referee there, making sure it was really clear what the issue was. Gets the squat command, nicely done. Great work there. Oh, did he stumble forward? He did.
Yeah.
Disappointing. I got to say though, regardless of the stumble forward, that was great composure for him to
Absolutely.
have to deal with that, get the setup, get the squat command, and still drive this squat.
Yeah, he just stepped a little too early.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
Such a shame. But, you know, great communication from the referees there. There's nothing worse than getting re-racked and you're not 100% sure why you're being re-racked. So how do you fix it?
But now, Gary, he's a podium contender. So what do you do? Because the lift in itself looked easy. Do you still bump up the attempt? Do you retake?
Yeah, I would. If I was him, the way that moved, I would bump up the attempt. I'd stick with my plan. The issue wasn't weight. The issue was technical. And that's something that's, you know, easily fixed. And it was probably more a result of the anxiety created by the re-rack and rushing the setup.
Yeah.
Because then you rush the lift as well. Muhammad Lamine, 260. He is currently not in medal contention for the squats in the 93s. So put him into 4th position.
Depth questionable from afar.
Yeah, 2 referees have said it's a little bit high.
Sometimes this is what jumping 20 will do to you.
He just pulls it up a little bit short there, doesn't he?
And he has a very narrow style of squatting for such a tall guy with long femurs too.
Making it hard there. Lassi now from Finland, 262.5. We are back into the 105s. Doesn't mess around there. It's a yellow card from the centre referee.
Head pulls, touching but not helping. In this case, it could have been also for the hands, because now all of the fingers need to be wrapped up properly around the bar, but it seems to be the case.
Joseph Hopkinson, 270 from New Zealand. Trying to edge his way into the medals for squat 105. 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Now, if he wants a squat medal, he's going the right way about it.
Going of USA, followed by
We're going to jump back into the 93s for a moment. So currently in the 93s, Juan Carlos Espen from Mexico is currently in the gold medal position. Can he hold on to a podium finish for the squats? It's going to be tough, but I think he might just hang in there.
Yeah, because by the end of the second round, he's still going to be in gold because Dante Urquiza does not have body weight advantage against him.
So we've got 275 for Ethan Cohen. Doesn't leave any doubt about depth, and that top part of his lift is so quick that the bar actually leaves his back for a moment when he gets to the top. It's probably something he's going to have to really watch for.
Yeah, he has a very bouncy style of squatting.
With that aggressive lockout at the top, it's great speed and it's a really good technique, but that bar bounce can play against you if you're not careful. Dante Urquiza, 277.5 from Mexico, so this will put him silver because he is heavier than Espen.
You know what, Gary? We might need to go to Mexico for a quick squat seminar.
He is putting on a masterclass today. It's unbelievable. When you see such great technique from a sub-junior, is absolutely fantastic.
The bar is loaded.
So back into the 105s and Michael Cruz for 295. And keep himself on a podium finish.
Wow, where he thought that he lost it at the bottom, and turns out he lost it at the top.
Yeah, that's such a shame. He did such a good fight to get that out of the bottom there.
30.5 kilometers.
Only just to get a little bit off balance at the top. He just didn't hit the hole very well to get that speed out.
Yep. And in that case, I think a retake is the only option.
Yeah, I think so. 302.5 on the bar now for Gruszka from Poland.
Unexpectedly in squad gold and guaranteed minimum silver if he gets this one.
We've got a good, experienced coach in his corner. Arcadia's there. We've seen him at almost every competition.
Yeah, he might be one of the longest to know our coaches in the IPF. No lift, triple reds for lack of depth.
Let's have a look at the replay on this one.
Followed by
So of course, if it's three reds, there is no jury intervention.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
Just a little
assessment.
bit, just a little bit on the shy side. Doesn't have to move it much.
And once again, the 3 reds is not an intensity. It's that it's a low high from every angle.
Yep.
It's like not the more reds, the more gracious it is high. It's just that it's perceivable from all 3 refs'
Yep.
perspective.
And because it's unanimous from all 3 referees, there is no jury intervention. 3:15 for Austin Wilson now.
So want to first off get on the board and to guarantee himself squad gold in the 105s. Looks just about the same. How about the lights?
And 2-1, it's a good lift. He gets it on the board. He's got one red card from the side referee, so the jury is going to look at it.
What do you think, Gary?
Look, it's always tough to tell from these camera angles. I mean, the jury has the advantage. They've got a couple of different angles. They've got slow motion replays. I think they're okay with it.
Yeah, I can tell you for a fact that one of the jury members did not like it, but they need to come down to an agreement, and it's not the case, at least not at the moment. And now it is. They've overturned
They
the
have
lift, Gary.
overturned, so there's a no lift. So did he take too much of a risk by not retaking that 305? Where do you go now? I mean, do you really risk it all?
No, you don't. You retake
Or do you
315.
retake the 315? It's a
You
tough
have to.
one. I mean, look, as a coach in both classic and equipped, I mean, I don't do a whole lot of classic anymore. Once in my entire coaching career did I put the weight up on a squat after a missed lift. I generally don't do it. Kopkin from Canada, 177.5, gets another good lift on the board, 2-1. We'll wait for the jury on that one. Center referee, though, both side referees have said it's good enough, so usually you're okay with that. The Brewer now from South Africa, 230. I like how his technique has really been worked on for his build and height. And just couldn't quite get that one through. Just got a little bit too bent over before coming back up there, and it was just a little bit too much to stand with.
And as he was squatting, we received the ticket for Austin Wilson. He's not retaking the 315. He's going for 321.5 to break his own squat world record.
Well, that takes courage to back yourself like that, and I hope it pays off.
All or nothing type of move.
The 252.5 for Nayland. Yeah, it's an interesting move, but I mean, look, when you come to a competition and you are, one of the top nominations, and you're after the gold medal, you make a decision before you start the competition. Am I chasing the gold medal, solely going after the World Championship, or am I here to, just to do the best I can and hope where I fall? If you're here and your sole goal is to chase that World Championship, big risk, big reward. 2-1, it's a good lift. And sometimes you've got to throw the Hail Mary, and if it pays off, and he turns to be the world champion, everyone's like, a great choice. If it doesn't pay off,
they're going to be like, genius.
Well, yeah.
But to be honest, I think 321.5 was their planned second.
Yeah, I think it probably was. Mohammed Lamine now from Libya, 260.
A guy that has surprisingly struggled compared to where he was on nomination. Could not get his second squat on the board. And we're yet to see him prepare in the tent. So what's up with that?
Maybe he's just left it on there, gathering up a little bit more energy for his bench. Oh, we do. Hang on,
He's
we
coming
do see
out.
he's coming now. Bit late to the platform. He's clearly not a member of fastsetup.com.
How much is the subscription?
Well, as long as you set up within 10 seconds, it's free. I mean, this is the whole point about being on the platform early enough. You don't want to be rushing your setup. He's got 4 seconds left. He's not going to make it, I don't think. No, he's timed out, unfortunately, and that is a real shame.
I don't know why he took his sweet time like that on the platform. And he seems a little hurt too. Yep, it's not looking like the best of days for Mohamed Lamine.
Yeah, it's a real shame to time out like that.
But when one athlete struggles, there's another athlete come up. You can see the rankings getting thrown around.
Yeah, we're up into the 93s now with Adam Gould for 270. So still, this won't put him into the medals for squat.
And this time you don't want to be re-racked. Come on, just proper setup,
Yeah.
proper presentation of the bar from the first go.
Yeah, look, and that's the great thing that the center referee stood up and has told him exactly what the issue was. So if he makes that mistake again, then it's on him as an athlete. And he gets a squat command.
Yeah,
Fantastic work. Really great finish. He can walk away.
Yep, no squat medal for him, but forecasted third in the weight class. He needed those kilos.
Yeah, that was a really important lift for him. So Lassi now from Finland, 270 in the 105s. This isn't going to move him into the medals. Well chosen third lift there. Unfortunately, he's got 2 yellow cards from centre and side referees. Coach is walking to the jury panel, and rightly so. I'd want some clarification as well. I think the important thing for the coach here is not so much trying to get the lift overturned, but trying to get some really clear clarification on the yellow cards.
I think they're liking it.
I think they're going to overturn this. They have. It has been overturned, so we imagine it was for elbows. They don't appear to be providing any support. Hopkinson now from New Zealand, 275. He is in the bronze medal position at the moment. It's not guaranteed because, of course, Austin Wilson hasn't got a lift on the board yet. And just couldn't quite get it there. And we're back into the 93s in a second. And interesting, we're in the third round here. Espen is actually still holding on to that gold medal position. So Espen is actually guaranteed a bronze medal at the least in the 93s from the B group. And that's tough because he didn't have anything to sort of aim for, just had to put on the best he could.
But sometimes it's the best thing being in that scenario. You're not going to over push. You're doing what you have. You're basing everything on your performances, your previous lift. And that might be a blessing in disguise for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you're not sort of pressured or pushed into, chasing after a medal. You're just putting the best foot forward. Ethan Cohen now from the US, 282.5 to go up into that gold medal position in the 93 kilo squats.
Sinks it in a little too much. I think, yeah, he lost it at the bottom.
Just
But
couldn't quite get it there.
his squats were twitching when he tried to present the bar. I didn't think he was in the best conditions possible trying to secure that third.
So Espen is still holding on to that gold medal position at 277.5. Dante now from Mexico will be lifting 285 to go after that gold medal position. So if he gets this, Espen drops into the silver, and Dante into the gold, and Ethan will be bronze. Oh, I think he's done it.
It looks like a podium
He
for.
has.
Yeah, that's a 1 and 2 for Mexico. Urquiza in first and Espin in second. Gold and silver in the squad event going to Mexico.
That is a huge finish in the squats for Mexico. We move into the 105s to finish off this flight. Michael Cruz with 295, push himself up into the gold medal position. Obviously with 2 lifts to follow him. So if he gets this lift, he is guaranteed a medal. I think even if he misses this lift, he's still guaranteed bronze, I think. Yeah, he will be.
Yeah. But in the long run, he cannot lose out on 15. Not possible.
Retaking the 295 that he missed.
More attention at the bottom would make a huge difference for Michael Cruz. It sure looks different.
Yeah, that was a good looking squat. Gets 2 to 1, it's a good lift. We'll check the replay, but I think from where we're sitting it looks good. The jury seem okay with it. So we load to 302.5 now for Gruzga from Poland. This will push him up into the number 1 position.
Missed on depth last time around.
Looks like he sunk that one a little bit deeper from where we're sitting. He has 3 white lights, so he goes into the gold medal position with 1 lift to follow. And that 1 lift to follow is Austin Wilson for a world sub-junior squat record, 321.5. As you said earlier, breaking his own record. This is a gutsy move, isn't it? He's backing himself all the way here. 305, missed it. 315, missed it. 321 and a half. Why not? You're here for the gold. You don't win world championships unless you take a chance here and there.
The thing is, imagine he's had 10 minutes alone in the warm-up room thinking about this one. Is it more stress or is it more fuel? It depends on the kind of athlete you are.
Well, from the way he's looking, it looks like more fuel.
To be honest, strength is there. We know that.
Strength
We've
is not the
seen the
issue here.
previous lifts. It's just an issue of standards. Don't rush it, sink it at the bottom, don't overdo it either, and score. We need you on the board. World record and squat gold at stake here. He might have done it.
That looks better from here. 2 to 1, it's a good lift. He gets it on the board and a world record nonetheless. And the gold medal in squat as well with 1 lift.
Of course, everyone's looking at the jury. Okay, they still can intervene if they wish to do so.
Well, I've seen some head nods. I saw a thumbs up. It looks good. It stands. So there are our 93 kilo results for squats. So Dante from Mexico gets the goal with 285. Espen from Mexico, so a 1-2 finish from Mexico, 277.5. And Ethan Cohen from the US with 275. And our 105 results, Austin Wilson there, 321.5. What a way to finish out the squats for him. Gruzga from Poland with 302.5 in the silver, and Cruz from the US with 295. Well, don't go too far away. We'll be right back here in about 10 minutes' time with the bench press. Welcome back to the 2026 IPF World Sub-Junior and Junior Classic and Equipped Powerlifting Championships live in Sun City, South Africa, and brought to you by none other than Aleco and SPD, which is about to get underway with the bench press, and you can see the projected totals there and a squat recap from the 93 kilos. And I'll tell you what, it is tight at the top. And realistically, you're looking at, your top four there could go any way for the podium. So it's no one's game at the moment. Everyone's going to really have to be on point in the bench press. This is where the bench press is tough. It's a technical lift. This is where everything can go right or everything can go wrong.
Yep.
And you don't want to be using your bench press as a platform to, really build a total. This is where you just want to chip away. You don't want to make huge gains. Just put some weights on, add a few kilos. If you can get all three lift on, you might get to add 10 kilos to your total. That's your aim, really. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
But this year, Clark Down from Australia to open up at 110. Now, he dropped his opening lift by 10 kilos. And I think from what I've heard, he's carrying a little bit of an injury. But he gets that one on the board nicely with 3 white lights. And I think he might scratch his next 2 lifts. We'll wait and see. You can see him grabbing his shoulder and shaking his head to his coach there. And
Yeah, it's very shaky too at the top, so
I wouldn't be surprised if we see him scratch his next couple of lifts, or he might just leave them on there to give everyone plenty of rest. Azrael Chevelle from South Africa, 125. So they have put a second attempt in. Whether he'll be out to take it or not, we'll see. And that was a slow opening lift for Chevelle. He gets it on the board, but not a whole lot of room left to move there. Dilpreet Sidhu from Canada now, 127.5.
nice and easy. 3 white lights.
Yeah, that's how you want your opener to look on bench. So we go to Wise Christian now, 130. Three white lights, gets that one on. Will Coral now, Great Britain, 135. And this is the point of the competition where you really need to be conservative in your opening lift.
Yeah, it's also like an introduction to the way you bench. Most of these referees have never seen you bench. You need to show that you're properly executing the lift, waiting for commands. You don't want to tease the eyes of the referees and get yellows.
Yeah, you're not really going attracting too much attention, as we saw in the squats with the couple of athletes with elbow touches there. And Alex went back and actually talked to the referees earlier to get a bit more clarification, so we knew exactly what the call was for. So when we get a chance, Alex will clarify that a little bit for everyone. Great lift there.
3 white lights, a good lift. And what the referees were saying is that some of them were kind of dive bombing into the hole and getting a speed boots out of the hole because of the elbows, and some others were gauging depth with that contact. So that was to be signaled. It made for discrepancies in terms of opinion in the juries and on the platform, but interesting conversations to be had with those sub-juniors for their future.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. These are sub-junior athletes. They are fantastically technically proficient this week. It's been amazing. But it's an opportunity to learn and develop your technique and career. Thur de Klerk, 135.
No yellows here, 3 white lights for Team Belgium.
3 white lights, a good win.
So yeah, of course, as you develop yourself into more of an athlete rather than just a powerlifting participant, you want to be as clean as possible, and getting feedbacks is a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great to see the referees at these competitions are actually, up communicating with athletes and really clarifying things so they know and they can develop their careers in a much cleaner fashion. Peterson Cipriani now from Brazil, 140.
I would love your opinion on chalk on the glutes, though.
Yeah, yes, I have picked up on that in the last in the last few days as well. I've seen a lot more of that.
Do you believe in the almighty glute grip?
Well, look, I'm not. I don't think there's really anything great benefit there to it.
If anything, I think it just highlights your glutes, and if there's subtle movements, you're gonna give.
Lets the light shine off the chalk a bit more,
Yeah.
so it's easier for the referees to see. Yeah, look, I mean, there's a lot of things that athletes do that maybe they do, something maybe they don't. But I'm also a big fan of if something makes the athlete feel more confident or more comfortable, absolutely go for it.
Placebo is the best
Yeah,
medicine.
can work like a treat. Jose David, now 142 and a half. I've seen athletes over the years wearing knee sleeves on the bench press as well.
Isn't that a master's thing, though?
No, knee sleeves and wrist wraps became a big deal for a while in deadlifts for a little while. Personally, couldn't see the overall advantage to it. And 3 white lights there for Jose.
145 on the bar for Pablo Garcia from Spain, followed by West Indies, Adrian.
Can Mexico just had a 1-2 finish in the squats? Can they get a 1-2 finish in the bench as well?
The bar is loaded.
Garcia Martinez, 145. Great opening lift there.
160 on the bar for Angus from Stanley of Australia, followed by Australian Mark Ware. The bar is loaded.
And with these new IPF benches now with the sky pad on them, I mean, I don't think you really need a whole lot of chalk at all on these new benches, particularly as we come into the 93s and 105s and heavyweights. I mean,
Yeah.
I know for myself in my weight class, it's a fantastic bench to bench on. My weight pushes down into that really, really well. I can get a good position, a good hold without using any chalk at all.
Yeah, it really is a lovely bench pad.
Angus Winstanley, Australia, 160.
3 white lights, a good
3
win.
whites.
165 on the bar for
So
Ghana
far,
from
so good.
Canada,
All green on the
followed
scoreboard.
by Jardin Chauvel. The bar
And
is
Juan Carlo
loaded.
Espen now Mexico, 165. Had a silver medal in the squats.
Interesting thing to note here is the chalk on the inside face of the knee. Can expect him to try and squeeze the bench with his thighs. Yep, that's exactly it. He doesn't move at all. 3 white lights.
3 white lights, a
Yeah,
good
that's a
win.
fantastic system there. I mean, He's tight all the way through, and you can see in that bench, you'll see in the replay, there's no real significant body movement or body shift. So his system's staying tight. That means all the power he's generating is going into the bar. I think the only thing he could probably work on there is maybe a little bit more leg drive. And just sort of jam the bar back a little bit. But I'm not going to criticise. He did a fantastic lift, so. The Shield now from Australia, 125. So he came out 110. He dropped his opener by 10 kilos. I did catch a drift of the Australian coaches before this round mentioning that he was injured. I don't think he's going to come out for this lift. I think he's just put it on there as a sportsmanship to make sure all the other lifters get the same amount of rest for each round, and that's a great thing to do. So good opportunity for us to thank the people that make all these competitions possible, of course, SBD and Aleco. Always standing behind these competitions. You'll see these guys wearing SBD equipment and Aleco gear, and you'll see, obviously, we use Aleco equipment. It's not just because they're a sponsor, it's basically because it's the best in the business.
Yeah, we want them as sponsors because they are the best.
Exactly. And, you know, SBD, you know, I mean, the number of companies have tried to match the knee sleeves for many, many years, and they just can't do it. It's the seven secret herbs and spices of SBD. Azriel Chevelle, 130 for South Africa. Three white lights. Defreet Situ from Canada now, 135. Not sure what's happening here. We have bar loaded now. There was some hand signals going from the platform crew. But we're good to go. And looks like a good second.
Yellow though coming from the right hand side.
Let's have a look at the replay there.
Could be for the heels up or the glutes leaving the bench.
I think it's for his heels coming off the ground there, but I think that is the shape of the shoe.
It's very subtle, if anything.
Didn't seem to shift. Will Coral now with 142.5 for Great Britain. Three white lights, another good lift.
The bar is loaded.
So Peterson Cipriani now from Brazil, 142.5. Of course, remember, we still have 4 93 kilo lifters to lift with the 105, so the rankings will not really come into effect until we start the next session, the next flight with the 105s.
Yep. 2.5 was definitely the
Definitely
smartest
the right
choice
call
there.
there. And I think 2.5 is the call for the next one as well.
Yep.
There wasn't a whole lot of room left to move there. I think the next lift is going to be really tough for him. Wise Christian South Africa, 142.5.
Yeah, same second attempt as Cipriani, but a much bigger jump of 12.5.
That is a really, really big jump on bench press in any weight class. But it doesn't seem to bother him.
Yeah, 3 white lights, but you're right. Usually you see Jesus Olivares taking those jumps, but now you see a sub-junior 93.
The bar is loaded.
Third de Klerk now, Belgium, 142.5.
Great arch.
3 whites, gets the job done.
Card for Brazil. 150 on the bar for Pablo Garcia Martinez of Spain, followed by Figueroa and then Santos.
Much cleaner bench press session than his squat so far.
Pablo Garcia Martinez
Loaded.
from Spain, 150. Oh, a bit of a fumble in the middle there. Referees say it's a no lift with a downward movement of the bar, and I'd be inclined to agree there. But we'll have a look at the replay. And was it just an end dip or was it full downward movement?
It's
That's
very
a
much on
hard
the
call.
line.
Yeah, it's borderline, that one. Zay now, 150.
Great second attempt.
Yeah, really nicely done. He's got a red card from the centre referee, would be for elbows, I imagine.
I'd say he should be fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
The bar is loaded.
Angus Winstanley now from Australia at 170. And just a bit too much there. You can see he flared out a little bit too early on his elbows.
So do you think the 10 was too big of a jump, or it's more like a technical issue that he can correct for the third?
I think it might have been a little bit of both there. I think now that he knows what that feels like, if he puts the same weight on again for his third, he should be able to correct. He flared the elbows out very early on that lift before he was really getting momentum. Espen now from Mexico, 175. He might have the opportunity to find his way into a bench medal from this B flight. He's certainly giving himself every chance.
Three white lights, a good lift, and with how close it is in the weight class, with the other group yet to bench, he's now forecasted in second position.
He's got a good chance. He's got a good chance of staying on in the medals. So of course the shield now from Australia did not come out for his second. I imagine he's not coming out for his
It looks like he's
third
battling
either.
hard
So
right
current
now.
standings in the result, obviously we've still got 4 lifters
Out
to lift, but Espen there with 175 on his second in the gold medal
ready to
position.
stand here to
He
battle.
could find himself
They are bringing the world's
in a
strongest
podium
man
finish
walking in
for the
South
bench press,
Africa
which would be
today for the
fantastic. Win
Olympic
Stanley
Games. You can see here
still has a possibility of getting on the podium, but it's going to be a long shot as well, and obviously
before that.
they will probably get
Can't
pushed
say
down
high in the
out of
upper
that
strength
position with their
skills.
next 4 lifters as well.
The thing is, the rankings have really been thrown around because of Mohamed Lamine just scoring one squat when he
Yep.
was nominated so high up, lost out on 30 based on nominations, 20 based on today's squat event. So it's anybody's game for third to 5, I would say.
Yeah, I think even if you look at the projected totals, there's still nothing in it. For those top 4 positions, it's really anyone's opportunity to take it. So we move on to Azrael Chevelle now for 132.5 for his third and final bench press. Interestingly, his opening lift looked tough, and his second lift looked exactly the same. So let's see what his final lift looks like.
Oh, almost there. Can he
His
squeeze
final
another
lift looked
2.5?
tougher, but just not quite there. Big effort though, and he should be pretty happy with that. Wilfried Sidhu, Canada, 142.5. And classic bench is such a tougher lift. I mean, there's nothing you can do out in the back. I mean, these guys have been really great. They've got all their opening lifts on. If you don't get your opening lift in classic, it's generally because you open too heavy.
Yeah.
And there is nothing you can do about that. I mean, there's no way out of it. At least with equipped, you get out the back, you make a few adjustments, you twist the sleeves, pull the collar down or release a little bit, and suddenly you're smoking your next bench. But in classic, once that happens, it's all over. And that's just a
That's a
little bit
shame.
too heavy for the freak
Yeah,
today.
this would have been a personal best of 7.5. Ain't too big of a jump there. But is the type to take big jumps. We've seen that from him in the squat and from his first to his second. Just does not work out in his favor with 142.5.
Will Coral now from Great Britain, 145. It's a nice little 2.5 kilo jump. We all know how quickly your bench comes to a standstill. I mean, you can hit a 142.5 and it feels fantastic. Moves at a million miles an hour. 2.5 kilos on that, and you're stapled to the bench. Now that 2.5 kilos was just the right call, but I think he jumped the command, did he?
I don't know. It's sometimes it's a mental thing too. You feel like you have your max in your hands. You need that new personal best. It bounces off the chest and you're like, might as well push it.
Yeah, I don't think he waited for the rack command there, which is unfortunate. Which is a shame because it was a good press. 145 for Cipriani from Brazil now.
Wow, is a really scrappy bencher, but he makes it move. 3 white lights.
That was a really well chosen final lift there. There was nothing else in that.
The thing is, with this guy, he had to fight for all 6 of his attempts. He opened pretty much heavy on the 2 lifts.
He's not made it easy
And
for
then
himself.
just squeezed in a few small jumps here and there. See, he likes to fight, that's for sure.
Weiss Christian from South Africa, 147.5.
Lots of shaking, but a proper lockout. 3
Yeah.
white lights, new personal best with 2.5 for Christian.
Nice way to finish your bench. Third to Clerk, 147.5.
Loaded.
1 2 for 3 in the squat, squatted 255. Could walk away with a personal best of 5 and 3 for 3 if he scores 147.
Yeah, nice way to finish your bench press campaign at the World Championships. With a personal best of 3 from 3. And it looks good from here. It is 3 white lights.
He's looking good, and the thing is, he's one of the few that will still be a sub-junior next year. As of right now, we're forecasted in the middle of the pack, 11th as we speak. But he's looking good, technique's fine. He's gonna get the experience, lessons from the refs. Next year, he could be on the podium.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's what you do. You just keep showing up and you keep building, you keep growing, and, you know, the next year or the year after, it might be your year to be on the podium. Garcia Martinez, 150. Missed it on his second. Can he rectify this on a third? He does.
You can understand why this was supposed to be a second.
Yeah, it made it look a lot better that time. David Figueroa Dipierre, 157.5.
Wow.
Well, he's got some grind in him, and he does it. 3
Magnificent
whites.
third. Stays in control throughout the lift. The bar never dips. Proper attempt selection. Everything you would love out of a third bench.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your third bench should be a little bit challenging.
Of course.
I mean, if it's too easy, you probably should have gone a bit more, unless you've got some sort of special plan in the deadlift. But
yeah, unless your back cramps up or anything and then you
Yep.
lose 10 on your deadlifts.
Angus Winstanley now Australia for 170. Didn't get on his second. Needs to get this one on because he's currently ranked number 2. Obviously, we've got the 4 other lifters to come. But if he gets a 170 on there, he has a chance of staying on the podium for the bench press. His 160 opener won't cut it, I wouldn't think. And he's got the grind going.
Come
His hips
on.
have lifted a lot there. I'm not sure. 3 red lights, 2 yellows and a blue. Yeah,
Hey,
his
look
butt
at
came
that
off.
split view from the media team. Isn't that perfect? It
He-
feels like we're jury members.
He did a fantastic job, though, of getting that back to the top. Just couldn't keep his hips down.
Yeah. I mean, mentally, that's a personal best. You're like, yeah, I still got it up.
100%. Yeah, 100%. You walk away from that lift. Okay, technically, it was a no lift, but I pressed that weight for the first time. So, Carlos Espen now from Mexico, 177.5. He is ranked number 1 at the moment and has a good chance of staying in the medals for the bench press. And we see a 1-2 finish from Mexico again in the bench.
Oh, shoulder slipping on the bench. That's going to be a no lift.
That is a no lift, and so he stays at 175. And we are going to move straight into the 105s now. And of course, those 4 other 93s. So we'll be able to update you in the bench press medal positions as we get through these.
And it's wide open for medals because at the moment in bronze it's 157.5 in España. With 160 silver it's with Stanley. And in gold 175. I feel like silver and bronze are up for grabs.
Yeah, I think so. And I think gold, I mean, yeah, we'll see where they fall. I think one might just find himself in the medals again for the bench. Kofkin now from Canada, 125. Good clean opening lift.
3 white lights of Hooker, 135 on the dot. Mohammed Lamin of India, followed by Hopkinson of Brewer.
Now into a lifter I'm excited to see
The
because he
bar
seemed a
is
little
loaded.
bothered and maybe injured after his squat.
Yeah, Mohammed Lamin, remember he walked off of that last squat, pulling at his shoulder a little bit. Just didn't seem, everything just didn't seem right. So let's see how his bench goes. He hasn't dropped his opening bench at all.
So how is he looking?
But moved well.
Yep. He seemed to be very
3 white
precautious for
lights of Hooker,
most of the
140 on
descent,
the dot.
but on the final centimeters, he kind of relieved that tension.
Yeah, and he's not grabbing at anything. He looks okay walking off. So maybe it was just a little bit of a twinge, had shoulder in the wrong
The bar
position
is
on a squat
loaded.
or something like that.
And to be honest, we've seen lifters play it off when they miss a lift. You've seen that before, Gary.
I've done it before. Are you kidding me? I haven't just seen it. I've done it.
I'm never failing because I'm not strong enough. Sir, something has
Clearly,
happened.
clearly there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Hopkinson now from New Zealand, 140. Making it look easy.
3 white lights of Hooker, 140 on the dot. Wilhelm Brewer of South Africa, followed by Nyanda Murkiza. The bar is loaded.
Brewer now for 140. Three whites.
3 white lights of Hooker, 150 on the dot for Nyanda Murkiza, followed by Urquiza and Grushka. The bar is loaded.
Luis, 150. His shoulders dug in deep and trying to get up on top and get them as far under him as he can to create the best position for your lever arms, the most powerful position.
In true Brazilian fashion, in the 93s and 105s, he opens a little aggressively, I would say.
Yeah, it's a red card from the center referee on elbows.
One thing to note is that these lifters are in the best conditions possible because that warm-up room is full Helico. So they have the same exact bench pad in the warm-up room as they have on the
It's a
platform.
great opportunity to be able to warm up, and not just that we have all the great equipment out there. There's so much space out in the warm-up room. You're not
Yep.
tripping over each other.
Truly top-notch.
Dante from Mexico now, 152 and a half. He's got some work to do if he wants to be joining his teammate on the podium in the 93s.
Interesting stance. Don't see that often.
Yeah, it's a very wide
for
position.
Ruben, 172.5 and a
There
half.
is a small benefit to that wide position that it makes it very difficult for your butt to actually come off the bench because it forces you to do an anterior pelvic tilt. The downside to that is it's a very difficult position to be in to really get any leg drive into your bench. So it's a bit of a trade-off. If you've got a problem with keeping your butt down, then that may be a trade-off you want to take. But leg drive, a really important part of the bench press and often misunderstood. Gruzga now from Poland, 152 and a half. Well, makes short work of that one with 3 white lights.
152.5 and Lassi Mantanimi of Finland, followed by gold of Poland. The bar is loaded.
Lassi Mantanimi, Finland, 152 and a half.
Nice and easy opener.
Yeah, and that's the way you want your opener to look on
White light
bench.
for Britain, 167.5 and a half for Adam Gold of Great Britain, followed by Poland of Wilson. The bar
We
is
jump up
loaded.
into the 93s for a moment. 167 and a half for Adam Gould from Great Britain. This will put him as number 2 in the bench press for a while, but obviously we've got another 2 rounds to go.
Hopefully no issues with bar presentation in the bench press event. Super smooth
Yeah,
from
made
Adam.
that look very, very easy.
172.5 and a half for Ethan Cohen of USA, followed by Wilson and Cruz.
And we probably won't see it from this angle, but
The
he
bar is
uses a bit of
loaded.
a J-curve approach, which if you can master that, it can be very, very, very effective. So you sort of initially shift back from the chest to build momentum and then sort of curve it up in the shape of a J and use that momentum to take it back to the top. It's a tough one to master though. Ethan Cohen now 172 and a half. Still in the 93s. This put him as silver.
This might be the first thing we've been seeing.
172.5 and a half for
Got a yellow
Austin
card
Wilson,
for the center
USA,
referee
followed by
there.
Bishop. The bar is loaded.
Do you think that's because of the way he sinks?
Well, I was sort of trying to watch the head there instead of the butt, given that it came from the center referee, but the head stayed down.
Jury's still discussing it.
Whilst they talk about that, Austin Wilson is on the platform at 172 and a half.
Yeah, they moved on. They didn't seem to think that that was upper body thrust. Solid setup of the arch. 2-1, a good lift. One yellow from the side this time.
And we'll have a look at the replay and see what we can see. I think there was still contact. Yeah. It is very, very close though. Michael Cruz now from the US, 182 and a half. So we look at the 93s. Espen is still sitting there holding on to the gold medal in the bench for the time being. I think Ethan Cohen from the US is going to overtake that. Right now, Michael Cruz with 182.5. Then we'll move into the second round. Three whites.
Yep, that's as fast as it's going to get with that amount of weight.
Yeah, when you're talking about those sorts of weights, you can't expect to be moving too fast.
The bar is loaded.
And as you said, like Giancarlo Espin keeps them on their toes from the V group. He's still up there pushing.
Yeah, he's still there at the top, holding in there. You see the current results there. We move into the second round. Alexander Kopkin from Canada, 132.5. Good second lift, a little bit of extra work, still a bit of room to move.
The bar is loaded.
So Mohammed Lamine now, 142.5.
Personal best bench of 145, so very close as it's going to get. So possibly not injured at all.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. I think he just maybe twinged something a little bit on the, maybe overextended his shoulder a little bit.
Better tension on the way down than the previous lift, but a little bit of an elbow flare.
Yeah, just popping those elbows out pretty early on. And still gets the 3 white lights.
I guess nowhere else to go than a 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do here? I mean, do you take a chance at adding a 5 and go after a personal best, or you do 2.5? Is he in a running for a medal?
He already lost too much in the squad. He cannot afford to lose more.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So, 2.5, play it safe, play the long game. Joseph Hopkinson now, 145.
Solid second.
3 white lights for Duke. 150.5 on the rock and being 150 for William Brewer of Alberta, all white blank on the rest of the squad.
So William Brewer for 150.
We're truly seeing a variety of jumps. Some 2.5, 5, 7, 10, 12.
Yeah, it's a little bit unpredictable.
Yep.
I do love that the coach is so much more vocal than the athlete.
150.5 on the rock and being platinum, followed by
It's a good lift. The shouting from the coach paid off.
If he wants to squeeze out another 2.5, she's going to have to scream a little more, I think.
Yeah, she's going to have to be louder than that. 152.5 for Luis Felipe Nyland from Brazil.
Opener wasn't easy by any means, so I can fully understand the 2.5.
Yeah, I think conservative jumps on bench, just adding kilos.
Lots of wrist rolling, but it slightly looks better. 3 white lights.
A good day. 160 on the bar for Dante
Yeah, you make a good point about
Masigo.
the wrist rolling there. It's
168 in group B.
not the most powerful position to be in when you let the bar sort of roll back over the wrist a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, being unstable is never going to help with force
The
output.
bar
It's
is
like,
loaded.
would you rather run on concrete or in the sand? It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a good analogy there. I mean, if you want to try and keep that wrist up as upright as you can. You want the forearm be directly below the bar. That's your most powerful position. If you start to let that wrist roll back, the bar moves back behind the forearm, and you lose quite a significant amount of power in that position.
Yeah, joint stacking is super important in the bench press.
Dante now for 160. Three white lights.
3 white lights. A good day. 160 on the bar for
I mean, the more we're seeing to Mexico out there, the better they
Dante
look.
Masigo.
They're just getting better and better. I mean, obviously Dante's got a little bit of work to do if he wants to catch up and get on the podium. But Espen is still up there. So Lassi now from Finland, 160.
Three white lights. A good day. 162.5 on the bar for Team
Three white lights.
Poland, followed by
Gets
gold
the
medal
job
Wilson.
done. The Grushka now from Poland, 162 and a
The
half.
bar is loaded. Three white
3
Three
white
lights.
whites.
lights.
Yeah,
No issue with his
165 on the
second,
bar.
unlike his
Gold
squad
medal
event.
Wilson, followed by Wilson and
he's
Poland.
certainly on form now.
Gold will be catapulting straight
Adam
into the
Galt,
USA
Great Britain,
National Games.
175. So we're jumping up into the 93s for a
The
moment.
bar is loaded.
So this will take him up to the gold medal position in the 93s on body weight because Espen is fraction heavier.
Three white lights.
3
A
white
good day.
lights. He's looking
180 on the
good.
bar for Austin Wilson of USA, followed by Poland and
As
Sweden.
of right now, Gold is forecasted a third in the weight class, just 5 kgs above
The bar is
Espen
loaded.
from the B group.
Austin Wilson now in the 105s. Of course, this is really important for Austin to make sure he gets lifts in all three categories. He's broken the world squat record, so
Wilson is
for
guaranteed
that to count, he must
silver.
make sure he gets a bench and a deadlift in. He's already got a bench in, which is fantastic. So 180 goes on the bar now. Job done. 180.
Three white lights. A good day. 182.5 on the bar for Ethan Cohen of USA,
So go
followed by
back into the
Wilson and
93s
Wilson.
for a moment with
The
Ethan
bar is
Cohen looking for
loaded.
182.5.
His historic
This will push him up into
gold
the
Indian
gold
National
medal
Team event.
position. and push Espen down into the silver. He sinks that deep into his chest, doesn't he? 3 white lights.
Red light for DJ, 192.5, and Michael Cruz from USA, followed by Kevin from Fleming.
So he goes up into number 1 for the 93s. We come back into the 105s for Michael Cruz from the US, looking at 192.5.
If he gets this one, no one would have missed an attempt in the 105 during the first 2 rounds.
190.5 for
Let's hope that comment hasn't jinxed them.
Michael Cruz.
The commentator's curse is not real. We've been over that. A bit of head movement, but I don't think the head left the
No,
bench.
it didn't seem to. So he gets that 192.5 on the board, puts it in very good position now as we move into the 3rd round.
And he makes great use of a not so optimized grip.
The bar is loaded.
So a quick look at the standings in bronze: Espen, silver Galt, and gold Cohen in the 93s. And the 105s in provisional bronze is Grushka, provisional silver is Wilson, provisional gold is Cruz. But by the looks of it, gold is a guarantee. No one is going to make a push for Michael Cruz.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So 192.5, and he's a fair way out on his second lift already. So, and Kofkin there, just a little bit too much on his third. Just a big jump, 132.5 to 140, and just proved a bit too much today.
Let's be honest, statistically speaking, it's the most missed attempt in all powerlifting. So
absolutely, I mean, it is the hardest one of all for your third attempt, I think. And just gets away from a little bit there.
based on the second, I think we've seen this one coming. With more weight, it creates more pressure for you to try and put that bar backwards. And when it's that long of a range of motion for you, if your elbows open up too early, you're done with it.
It's just going to get behind you. Joseph Hopkinson now from New Zealand, 147.5.
Pretty solid. 3 white lights. Hopkinson goes 3 for 3.
It's a good effort on bench to go 3 from 3. It's not the easiest thing to achieve. William Brewer now from South Africa, 155.
The bar is loaded.
And that 5 kilos just proved to be a little bit too much.
160 and above, Luis Felipe Milan from Brazil, followed by
Luis Felipe Milan from Brazil now, 160.
The bar is loaded.
Can he get his third one on?
I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm trying to find an explanation for that jump. I can't seem to find one, especially based on his first two attempts. I know 160 sounds nice, personal best of 7.5, but 150 or 152.5 weren't easy.
Yeah, it's a big move.
Yeah, where is it coming from? Where are the answers coming from? It begs the question.
Just proves to be too much.
Unfortunately, no lift. 165 on the bar for Dante
Yeah, I think too greedy of a call there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think sometimes on bench, particularly, it's important to be conservative. It's important to consider the long game. You are never going to make up huge amounts of ground on the bench. You know, your place to make up the ground are your squats and your deadlifts. Bench press, your aim is to just chip away and be able to add maybe 10, 12.5 kilos to your total.
And we've discussed powerlifting to be a momentum game. You don't want to fail your final attempt before going into deadlifts.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you want to be finishing that last bench on a high note. You don't want to be using up everything you've got on that last bench either. I mean, a big grind is great to watch, don't get me wrong, but it draws so much energy from the athlete. So 165 for Dante. This won't put him in the medals for the 93s, unfortunately. And I think...
And this is where he could have used a little more leg drive, I think.
Yeah, and I think a 162.5 might have been a better call for his third rather than 165. I mean, it would be nice to add the extra 5 to your total, but now he's adding nothing to his total, where he could have been adding 2.5. Gruzga now 165. Just a 2.5 kilo jump from 162.5. Slow but steady. Gets the lights.
Very high chances at a podium in the 105 for Simon Grushka. Going 5 for 6. Collecting a whole lot of kilos. Is forecasted with 752.5 based on his current deadlift opener.
Lassi Lataniemi from Finland now, 165.
Too much wrist rolling this time, no lift.
Yeah, unfortunately there. Let's have a look in the replay.
182.5 now, Adam Gold, fighting for gold. Great grip. Wilson bone support.
Yeah, I can see what he's trying to do. So the way he comes down to that bench, his wrist is very back, vast, sort of hanging over empty space. As he's pressing, I can see he's trying to straighten that up. Better approach would actually be in the straight position to begin with, but he's going to develop his technique and find the best thing that works for him over the years to come. Adam Galt now, Great Britain, 182.5.
That's provisional bench press gold on body weight over Ethan Cohen.
Yeah, that'll put him up there. So that puts him in the gold medal position
And it seems like he might have had room too.
Only one match counter.
Could have been a bit more in the tank.
Next kick
But
is
like you
left
said,
side for Austin Wilson
no
of
need to
USA.
risk anything stupid,
No, that's right.
especially when he's in
Bar is
contention for the
loaded.
win.
Yep. So nothing crazy here.
It's still a personal best of 7.5, so a little bit crazy.
Austin Wilson, 185. I would definitely be having a chat to him about his setup as a coach. 20 seconds left on the clock when he finishes his setup, which is fine
2-1.
unless you get asked to re-rack.
187.5
Yeah.
now. The final
And
choice.
2-1 again, a good lift, but another yellow coming from the left hand side.
The bar is loaded. Final say in the bench gold.
The other thing is okay, I can't see anything wrong from that angle.
Yeah, and to be honest, had he missed this one, he would have been fine. He seems to be in a league of his own in the weight class.
Yeah, very much so. Ethan Cohen now from the US. So he is currently silver in the 93s for bench. This will push him up into the gold medal, and he'll take home the bench gold. And it will push Adam Gould down into silver and Espen into bronze. Finally a weight that slowed him down a little bit. Not much, just a little bit.
195 for Michael Cruz. The final list is the 105. Is already the end of the bench gold
Michael
medal.
Cruz now.
Added to his total. The bar is loaded. Final bench. Michael Cruz.
195.
Yeah, he's already guaranteed bench press gold, but 2.5 more to pull away from Grushka.
Yeah, right. This is more about totals now. Adding a couple extra kilos to that, the end game. Well, he gets it there without too much of a grind, really, and he gets the 3 white lights. And what a way for him to finish the bench press.
The thing is, maybe not that much of a grind, but with more kilos, he would have lost even more of his position, and I don't think he would have had it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they made the right choice there, picked it just right. So there are our current standings, 93s. Cohen on 187.5 for the gold, Gould on 182.5. And Espen holds on to the bronze medal there as well. Cohen in the 105s takes the gold medal. Sorry, we're in the 93 subtotals there. We'll skip the screen over to the 105 bench press results. And there it is. Cruz with 195, Wilson with 185, and Grushka with 165. And a solid way to finish. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back here in about 10 minutes' time. We've got the deadlift to see who is the world sub-junior champion in the 93s and the 105s. Welcome back to the 2026 IPF World Sub-Junior and Junior Classic and Equipped Powerlifting Championships, live from Sun City, South Africa, and brought to you by none other than Aloco and SBD. And we're just about to get ready to get into the business end, into the deadlifts and the 93s and 105s, and there are the 93 kilo projected totals there. And as you can see in that top four, it is extremely close, and even right down to the sort of fifth position there, and even sixth position have an opportunity, if someone makes a mistake, to jump into the overall medals as well.
And as we mentioned before, we've got Giancarlo Espin shooting in the dark. He's very much in podium contention, but Rakiza Golden Cohen will have the advantage of knowing what he did.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in the 93s. You know, you just sort of, as you said, shooting in the dark, really. And Dilpreet there, Canada, good opening lift. And of course, you know, opening lifts here, you want to get this in, locks your total away, then you can start building and seeing what you can do as well. In the 105s, of course, Austin Wilson, very important lift for him to get his opener on, to lock that world record in as well. Adriel Chevelle.
Because this week we've seen an American lifter lose out on a record, Justin Nguyen, in the 59s. And he's announced on Instagram that he's guaranteed to move up to the 66s.
Moving up a weight class. Chevelle now with 230. He felt every bit of that. And some interesting changes to opening lifts here. If I'm reading that right, Martinez has put his opening deadlift up 35 kilos.
Yeah, you are reading that correctly, which is very interesting.
Or is it interesting that I'm reading correctly? Or
I wouldn't say that.
So Jose now from Spain, 235. So obviously Martinez feeling really good out the back. 3rd de Klerk now, 240.
Very comfortable first pull.
Yeah, and that is what you want your opening deadlift to look like. You want it to be a really easy, convincing, something you're not going to mess up. Even if something goes wrong, you're still going to get it on the board. Locks that total in. Now you can start working on your overall numbers.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised that for most of these guys, they take like 20 kilo jumps from the first to the second.
The Shio Clark Jan from Australia now, 250. Remember, he only did one bench. Three white lights.
Seems like his deadlift is not as impacted as his bench.
Australia again, Angus Winstanley, 250.
Two to one, a good lift. One red for lack of lockout coming from the left hand side. I think he might have also dropped the bar on the way down.
Let's have a look at the replay there, see what we can pick up.
Well timed. Lockout seems fine from that angle, but he did receive a white from that angle.
Yeah, it's always hard to see. You know, we don't see what the referee sees at full speed either. Christian now 250. Three
Just,
whites.
yeah, grips it and rips it. Very comfortable first ball.
Serbov, followed by Bentia Cipriani. Espen using podium.
One colour Espen now for 260.
Shoulder with the top leg in
He is going to be
the
working
rock is
hard to
loaded.
put his best total on it he can. He has an opportunity to be in the medals. He's at a slight disadvantage without being able to see what everyone else is doing in those top four. But he has kept himself in the medals in both squat and bench press, so just needs to keep working on the same plan.
Okay.
That is fast, wasn't it?
Nominated deadlift 270. This doesn't look like someone that only deadlifts 270. He has plenty more in the tank.
Yeah, he is well within grasp of surpassing 300. Martinez at 275. So his personal best is 290, so he's well below that. So their nominated opening deadlift they put in for competition of obviously just a bit of a lower number on paper. And then they've changed it before coming out to 275.
Super speedy. 3 white lights.
Yeah, we've seen some great deadlifts here at this end of the deadlift round.
The bar is loaded.
Of course, Martinez is another one that needs to really just put the best he can on and see where the chips fall.
And what we have on our screen is wrong, because at first he had put in 215 as his opener. Remember, I mentioned
That's
this
right.
to you. I was like, I'm not trusting that opener. He opens up at 217.5, and he goes from 13s or 14s on the forecast to 6.
Makes a big difference, doesn't it? Cipriani now 277.5. Oh, he locks those knees out very quickly and early, and it's cost him in the end.
You don't want that to mess with your head either. It's just a lift. Put it in the pass. You have 2 more to go. Yeah, too quick, too strong for his own good there.
Yeah, just struggling to really get that lockout position. So Will Coral now 292.5. It's below his personal best of 300.
Short torso, long arms. That makes for a good conventional deadlift.
Yeah, he's got the levers for it. We're into round 2 already. Azrael Chevelle for 240. Of course, not to forget that Ethan Cohen, Adam Goult, Dante and Lamine will be lifting in the 105s. Chevelle looking for 240. Just got himself a bit out of position there. Just let his hips really stand up too fast. See the hips pop up and puts himself in a very forward position. Sidhu now, Canada, 240 kilos. Another good lift. So stays at 250. Jose now looking to capitalise. We are moving through these guys really fast here. Not a lot of turnaround time. Nice looking 250.
Spain is really looking good in that fight, not missing attempts, selecting what they have on the day for all two of their athletes.
Yeah, making good choices. The third to clerk now, 260 kilos. Looks good. 3 whites.
Just what we were anticipating. A 20-kilo jump that still looks pretty comfortable. He's going to be in the 270s.
Yeah, absolutely. Angus Winstanley now from Australia, 262 and a half. This is moving so quickly that the bar is loaded and the athlete is walking out onto the platform before the replays have even finished. That's how fast this spotting crew is moving today. Well, he got away with it. There was almost a little bobble at the top, and he got away with that one. He's going to have to be very careful on his third lift as he gets a bit heavier. Christian now 262 and a half for South Africa. Hasn't really slowed him down much.
3 white lights is looking at a provisional top 8 in the weight class. If you can retain that on him, so that'd be nice.
Bashir Clark down, Australia 267 and a half. It's fairly clear that whatever injury he was carrying that prevented him from bench is not affecting his deadlift. It's likely a small shoulder impingement or something like that. And he made the really mature decision in bench, just to put an easy lift on the board. It's locked in, so he gets a total, and then not do any more. A lot of, and that is a mature decision because, I mean, I know for myself when I was young, we used to really just sort of push through injuries, which is not the right thing to do.
3 white lights with that 17.5 kg jump.
That's great.
A little difficult to read though. I'm not sure how much more he has in the tank. It could be 5 or 15.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell. Espen now 277 and a half. He is doing all the right things today, Espen. He is just putting in the best one he can without being able to read what's happening in the top 4. And he has managed to get a squat silver, a bench bronze, and at the moment he's putting himself up the top of the pack as well.
Yep. I wouldn't say he's a title contender, but for anything from 2nd to 4th, most definitely.
Yeah, he is certainly in the money for a possible podium finish. And wouldn't it be fantastic to see Mexico on the podium?
Yeah, that'd be great.
The World Championships. We saw, I think it was Carr from India in the sub-junior women's the other day take home a gold medal, and he's just lost his grip there, and he is not happy with himself. Is it a major grip issue, or did he just rush the setup here, do you think?
Let's look at the replay, but you see a whole lot of chalk. He's really applying pressure against his thumb, but as soon as it reaches the thighs, it's too much friction for him to hold on.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most difficult things to correct on the day. There's not much you can do.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Look, I mean, Cipriani now with 277 and a half to retake this. Yeah, it is a tough one, and quite often a lot of athletes, go more and more chalk to be the answer. And in some cases, the answer is ask for the bar to be clean and use a bit less chalk.
A little more patience out of Cipriani, and it works in his
Yeah,
favor.
made
3
the
white
difference.
lights.
That's what he needed to do, just to be a little bit more patient. So Martinez now for 292.5.
The bar is loaded. The white lights are grouping. 307.5 on the bar, 304 and 43, followed by Chevelle and Steele.
Gets the 3 white lights. Coral now from Great Britain for 307.5, and I'm just looking at the next lift selections. Espen going all out for a 290. Missed the 277.5, lost the grip there. He is going to go all out with the 290 to try and push his way onto a podium finish. And I think, I think for him where he's at the moment, I think that's the best choice.
Yeah, the thing is, he's not really threatened for 4th.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care about 4th. So why not make a push
Yep.
for 2nd, maybe provisional 1st or 3rd? He feels like strength-wise he has it.
Strength-wise, without a doubt, I've got him clocked at 290 easy. Can he hang on to it? That's the question.
Strength is not the only issue and variable here.
Will Coral now 307.5. That's a monster deadlift from Will Coral. Well above his personal best as well. And not a problem at all with that one. I think there's a 312.5 in him. Chevelle now from South Africa, 240. Yeah, I think we'll see Espen. It'll be a different lift on the 3rd one. The bar's going to be cleaned after each lift in the 3rd round, so that's going to be to his advantage as well. And providing he doesn't over chalk, and I often see that in athletes, and not just sub-junior and junior, but open athletes as well. Their answer to fixing their grip is more chalk, and sometimes the answer is actually less chalk, because they're caking on so much that it ends up reducing their grip.
Hips way too high. That's not going to work in his favor.
Same as the last attempt, I'm afraid. Just hips popping up, putting himself in that forward position.
Yeah.
But that's something that's going to develop over time. He's got many years ahead of him to perfect his technique.
Absolutely, and it's also maybe a case of running out of stamina by the end of the day.
Yep.
It's a long day, long competition. You attempt heavy weights for the whole day, and maybe you run out of gas. It happens.
Yeah. We've got temp change that's gone in, so Sidhu now has gone up 5 kilos. He did have 255, 250, now looking for 255. And of course you can call you can make an attempt change up until the point they call bar loaded.
Oh, he stalls.
I think that extra 5 kilos might have proved to be too much.
The thing is, he had nothing to lose. Personal best in the squat, new personal best in the bench, almost a personal best in the deadlift.
Yeah, look, and it's the last lift. You've got to give it everything you've got to try and push for a place or push for an overall best. So 257.5 now. Jose with a good final lift.
Yeah, 3 white lights, 3 for 3 in the deadlift, and 9 for 9, 670 as a whole. It's forecasted 11th in the weight class. Not too shabby.
So Weiss Christian now from South Africa looking for 270.
But yeah, personal best of 10 on the world stage. We'll take that any day.
The bar is loaded.
course, in the deadlift, you don't have to wait for a start command, so you can take your time a little bit more. And obviously the setup in deadlift is a little bit easier as well, not as technical. And a fantastic lift there to finish, 3 whites.
That's 680 for Christian.
Third to Clerk now,
Special announcement, the owner
270.
of silver Ford Everest, license plate KW25 VPGP. Please remove your car because it's not parked correctly. Owner of a silver Ford Everest KW25 VPGP.
270 kilos on the bar. No, just couldn't quite lock it.
Yep, cannot get those shoulder backwards. Would have been a new personal best of 10.
Gave it everything he had though.
And the thing is, you get that sour taste in your mouth when you end up on a failed lift, but it was not a bad day by any means.
Absolutely not. Look, you know, it's really hard walking away from any competition. And you know, you always walk away feeling like, you know, you could have done this differently, you could have done this more. You know, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, he's still PR'd by 32.5.
Exactly. I mean,
Come
that's
on.
enormous. You know, that is an absolutely enormous amount. So nothing to be ashamed of at all. But here comes Clark down from Australia now, 275. He is fired up for this one.
Yeah, contagious excitement.
Yeah, this is going to give him a 7.5 kilo PB on his deadlift. Oh, he's locked out those knees just a little bit too early. Yeah, a little bit lightheaded as he walked off there.
Yeah.
Not unusual at all.
He gave it his all. Just didn't win this time, but he'll be a second attempt by the next competition.
So Angus Winstanley now from Australia as well, also looking for 275. Looking for a 5 kilo personal best on his deadlift. Oh, I think he's got it there. It looks good. It is 3 whites. Good finish. Right now we are going to load the bar to 290 kilos. 1 Color Espen from Mexico.
That's a critical one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Hail Mary. This one is to put it, this will put him to 742 in a really solid position to maybe even take a gold medal.
Yep, strength-wise, he's made progress. That's guaranteed.
Yep.
We've seen
Strength
it.
is not an
Super
issue.
speedy. Just an issue with grip. So, is the thumb hurt? Is he too used to training with straps? What's happening there? Bar's been brushed, so no excuses. Focus, proper setup, and hold on. How in the world, Gary?
Absolutely fantastic. He has an opportunity not to just be on the podium. He is in a gold medal position now, a 742 total.
Yeah, he's going to
He's at
force
least,
two pulls
he's
out
at
of
least,
anyone.
yeah, he's at least going to be bronze.
I don't know about that.
Where he could get pushed out of there as well, yeah.
Yeah, he could.
But he has done
By his own
everything.
teammate.
Yeah, but he's done everything he can possibly do to finish on the podium.
Absolutely.
All he could do now is sit out the back and sweat bullets until the end.
Yeah, super stressful position to be in now. But he done all he could.
Cipriani now up 295. Fumbled his opening lift at 277.5. Focused a bit more on his second and got that one, now looking for 295.
Yeah, a huge jump straight to a personal best of 3.5. Yeah, I thought that was too speedy
Yeah.
of a wedge.
Unfortunately, no good
Still
Not
gets
quite
one
there.
white though.
He did get a white from the center referee.
state or
He'll
SR
take that.
Parkinson.
Coach is going up to the jury.
Weight changing.
Maybe the jury will review that one. We've got an attempt change going in, which is we'd always expect.
300 for
So
power
Martinez
at world.
has
The bar
dropped
is
his
loaded.
by 7.5.
Miss out. Not loaded yet.
I mean, by the looks of it, it's not stupid at all because it could be sufficient enough for a deadlift medal, depending on what the other members of the group can do.
So we're looking for an even 300 for Martinez.
Yeah, personal best attempt of 7.5.
Yeah, this will give him a best deadlift and his personal best total as well.
See, second attempt looks super speedy, but it's 7.5 more changes the whole
Catches up
thing.
with you so quickly in this sport.
So that severely hinders his chances at a deadlift medal, even though provisionally he holds on to silver.
Will Coral now for 310. So Will has dropped his by 5 kilos as well. Looking for 310. His 307.5 looked great. He did have a 315 put in, which I honestly think he's good for. He's gone the 310. He's playing the smarter card because this will put him, for the moment, in the deadlift gold medal position.
Yeah, and the heaviest opener of the other 93s is 275, so very high chances of maybe gold or at least a deadlift medal with that 310.
Oh, he just couldn't hold it at the top.
Doesn't change the face of the world, it's only 2.5. He leads the deadlift event by quite the margin.
Yeah, he's still out there and in the right position. So we move into the 105s and of course the top four or last four 93s. When we started this, it was more like the top four. It's definitely the last four now. And it's anyone's game. So Joseph Hopkinson will be the first out for the 105s with a 75, and I'm imagining he has some sort of injury because his personal best is, I think, something around 280. And I think he has done everything he can do today, giving the referees a handshake. So I imagine he's probably pulled something in a lower back or a hamstring. Kopkin now from Canada with 195.
Three white lights, a good lift, and no deadlift socks because it's not an obligation now with the long leg singlet.
Yeah, with the long singlet there.
But one rule is you're not allowed to change your type of singlet in between movements. So if you go with the long leg singlet, you need to keep it all throughout the competition.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Brewer now for 255. with his height and arm length, I was expecting conventional.
Almost a strongman start to his deadlift too.
Yeah, a little bit of a roll movement. Don't see that a lot anymore in powerlifting.
The bar is loaded.
Yeah, when you look at the replay, you would think that he struggles with belly pressure and he weighed 160, but no, that's a sub-junior 105.
265 on the bar for Nyland from Brazil.
Three white lights, so this is 267.5 on the bar. And going on
Good
you.
lift, 3 white lights. Not
The bar is loaded.
particularly easy for an opener.
Yeah, I mean, I always like the deadlift opener to be a real, walk out and just grip and rip, easy lift, get it on the board, lock the total away. I can take a bigger jump after that into my second. I want to lock that total in, make sure that everything I've done so far counts. Ethan Cohen now, 267.5 in the 93s.
Wow. Yep.
Smokes that one.
Just a walk in the park.
272.5 on the bar.
We're going to stay in the 93s for a moment for Dante Acquiza for 272.5.
Loaded.
But with that one, Cohen is back in second position with 730. He does not have body weight advantage over Espin, so he'll be forced to add another 15 to his deadlift, which I think he has based on that opener, of course.
Yeah.
But see, Espin has forced 2 pulls out of 81.
Yeah, he's put himself in a really good position there. But here is Espin's teammate. He was going to be looking to move up the rankings as well.
Three white lights, so this is 275 on the bar for Adam Gold of Great Britain, followed by Vincent Cruz.
Here's the 3 white lights. Adam Gould in the 93 still, 275.
The bar is loaded.
This would place him just 2.5 below Ethan Cohen. But he has the luxury to pull after him, so he will know what he would need to load in the second round. A little bit of a knee cave on his conventional.
And he's got plenty of room to move, hasn't he?
275 on the bar.
Mohamed Lamine from Libya now, 275.
The bar is loaded.
And that opener is interesting because Mohamed Lamine has really struggled today.
Yeah, he's been a bit all over the shop.
So was it just a squat issue? Because he only lost out on 2.5 based on a PB bench, but squat was not there on the day. Is it just squat or is it like overall fitness?
Yeah, and interesting, he's put his opening up lift up by 5 kilos as well.
Three white lights, a good lift. He needs 20 more kilos if he wants to finish in the top 8.
I mean, that moved well. I don't know about 20 more kilos. We'll wait and see. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to push yourself that far. When you're pushing for a medal, I mean, you can find that extra little bit. But when you're just pushing to move up the rankings, it's a bit harder to find that extra motivation.
And so far, all 3 medals are still in the B group.
Michael Cruz now in the 105, 275.
snappy first ball.
He's one good win.
And he gets a red light from the center referee.
Of Finland.
It's 2-1, so it's a good lift.
Do you see anything that wasn't properly locked out?
I think from the angle we've got there, it looks pretty good. I think from the front referee, sometimes that shoulder position can give the impression that it's not locked and it's not behind the bar, the path of the bar. But from the side, it looks fine. Lassi now from Finland, 275.
Great opener, 3 white lights for Team Finland.
285 on the back. If you want to use another pose or body releases.
So 285 goes on the bar for Grushka now.
Grushka not really pushed for that third step of the podium, so want to secure a total and then he can look forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he needs to do with this lift. This is just about locking in that total. So then he can have a look at the numbers, have a look, talk to the coach, what do I need to do? Can we get on the podium? And I imagine Arcadius has already done the numbers. Knowing him, he's got 15 different scenarios planned out. Again, these guys have got to be careful at the top. And they're getting away with it at the moment because it's really not that obvious, but you can see they're just losing stability at the top there, and it's ever so slight, and it's probably not as noticeable from the referees because of the distance, but we've got a television screen here and we've got a really nice view of it.
The thing is, his shoulders are staying behind the bar, so
Yep.
it made for 3 whites, but how is it going to look with more weight is the question.
So Austin Wilson, 295.
Want to finally register his squat record.
Three white lights and his record stands. And his total is locked in. We're coming into round 2 already with Kopkin with 210.
I don't know where Austin deadlifts is here at the moment, but the current record in the deadlifts events is 331.5. It belongs to Goran Deniz Isik from Turkey. He might be 2 jumps away, who knows?
Well, having seen what he's done today already, I wouldn't be surprised. They got 210 on the bar for Kopkin, just below his personal best of 220. Couldn't quite squeeze it to the top there.
I feel like he shoots the bar with his shins at the bottom. Not very optimized. Of course. So
Yeah, look at the replay here. And it's interesting. It moved well up to that point. He didn't look like he was really fighting. I was wondering if he just felt a little bit in an uncomfortable position, so made the smart choice, put it down, try again in a minute. 270 for Brewer.
The bar is loaded.
Three white lights, a good lift.
So Luis Philippe. Brazil 275. Guys giving the bar a really good clean there. Squeeze it to the top.
But doesn't it look like a third to you?
Yeah, it wasn't super fast. Not a whole lot left in there.
Might be a huge sumo grinder, who knows?
The bar is loaded.
Above the knees, he's gonna want to be careful not to stall or support on the thighs.
Dante now 285. We're up into the 93s now. So this will take Dante up into the bronze medal position overall. Obviously with two lifts to follow him. No, 3 lifts to follow him. I'm losing count. There's a certain number of lifts to follow him.
Whole bunch of deadlifts to go. 3 white
Three
lights.
whites.
Provisionally on the podium over Adam Galt, who's to lift after him. But below Cohen and Espen. Urquiza is on 730. His teammate Espen from the B group is on 742.5. He has body weight advantage against him, so he could just match the total. But does he have 12 and a half more on his deadlift?
There's a long stretch. Cohen now for 285 to jump into that gold medal position in the 93s.
We were expecting 745 because it was the only thing that was needed, but they took a gamble and added 2.5 somewhat useless kilos, but it worked in their favor. 3 white lights.
Done the job.
290 on the bar for Adam Gold at 300.
So he puts himself in the gold medal position. So Espen hangs in there for the time being.
Bar is loaded.
Adam Gould now looking for 290.
And he does have body weight advantage against Espen, so this will drop down his spin to bronze, gold to silver.
So he puts this one up, he moves up to silver, pushes Espen down the list a little bit. He does it, 3 white lights, so he gets into the silver medal position.
Urquiza enters in now for bronze 292.5. Bahamas landing at Libya now, followed by Martinelli and Cruz. The bar is loaded.
And Lamine now for 292 and a half. This will put him up into silver medal for deadlift. He's definitely reaching the end of
3 white lights
the
at
tank
Libya.
here.
Yep, new personal best of 2.5.
Last week, 99 for Finland, followed by Cruz and Luisa. The bar is loaded. Martinelli for Finland, 292.5.
Lassie there with 292 and a half.
3 white lights at Putin, 295 on the bar for Mike Lee from USA, followed by Luisa and Wilson.
Loads at 295 now. For Michael Cruz. If he gets this, it'll be a 5-kilo personal best for him.
Yeah, the next 3 deadlifts belong to 105s. And that will be the end of the second round of deadlifts. Then into the deciding deadlifts.
And of course, they've got 2 changes to their final deadlift attempt as well. And you'll see quite a few attempt changes coming in as they jostle around for positions.
Three white lights, a good
3 whites.
302.5 on the mark.
No one can argue with that one.
By Wilson. The bar is loaded.
I think he's one of those lifters that really benefit from the new rule for lockout, because previously his right shoulder could have been signaled by a red.
Yeah, I think the change is quite a good rule. I mean, it really just needs to be back behind the bar.
Yeah, and you're standing up with the weight.
Yep.
Weight have been lifted, so no complaints with that.
302.5 for Gruszka from Poland.
This guy really is doing a great job today. 3 white lights.
Yeah, he's on fire, isn't he?
With 770, he's 40 kilos over 4th place.
Austin Wilson up next for 315, and he's been doing a great job. He backed himself 100% in that squat. He missed his opener, missed his second, went for the world record on the third.
Yeah, he was like, this is my last squat as a sub-junior on the world stage. I'm going to take that record.
Yeah, it was a huge call. But if you're here for a world championship, if you're here to win it, you're sometimes going to take some risks. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But you don't win a world championship by not lifting your best.
You know what? We might be in for a shot at the world record. He needs 332 for that.
He's not far away from it.
I guess there's no other way to go, but the total record is a little too far. It belongs to Jack Reynolds. It was established last year in Costa Rica. It is 861.
Powerlifting, and here is the final round with Alexander Kurtzgen of Canada going for 210, followed by Brewer in Milan.
We move into round 3 already. Kofka now 210, didn't get it on his second. And you can see on our screen there the 93 kilo projected subtotals. So Espen might just get deadlift. Kofka now though for 210, missed it on his second, just sort of got it almost up and then just put it down.
He holds it a little longer and manages
That
to lock it
was
out.
a grind, and hats off to him. That was a tough lift, but he got it.
Trusted his positioning a little more, kept on pulling, locked it out. Fantastic third.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there. I think he trusted his technique a little bit more and just kept that position. Gets the top. Brewer now with 282.5.
The bar is loaded. 282.5 for Wilhelm Brewer, South Africa.
282.5 kilos for Wilhelm Brewer. I have no idea how that's still going, but unbelievable effort there.
Yeah, I think he windmilled a little too much to be able to lock it out. It would have been a new personal
Wow.
best of
You,
12.5.
he might not have got that lift, but the determination there.
Yeah, he surely has grit.
I thought it was going to pretty much stop before it got to the knees, but he kept it going. Lyland now from Brazil, 295.
The bar is loaded.
To push him up into the bronze medal for deadlifts in the 105s momentarily. It's not going to change his overall placing.
A 20 kilo jump wasn't expected, but with a leap of faith, he's taking a shot at the podium, Gary.
Well, he's got nothing else to lose now.
Yeah, there was just
But
no
the
way this one was going to go
podium
through.
is not on his cards today, unfortunately. So we are going to jump into the 93s for a moment. Adam Gault from Great Britain, 297.5.
The bar is loaded.
This will push him into the gold medal position momentarily for the overall total.
And that's perfect attempt selection. Not overreaching, just taking what you need to force another pull out of Ethan Cohen. You never know what can happen.
Adam Gold going for gold. 297.5. Come on.
Well, he's got it there. Puts himself in a position. We stay in the 93s. Lamine now 297.5.
Okay, Go just pulls away from Urquiza and pulls over Cohen momentarily. So nicely done. This is the deadlift that was needed.
The Gould out in front at the moment.
The bar is loaded. 297.5 for Mohamed Lamine of Libya.
297.5 is a guaranteed deadlift medal for Lamine.
A nice finish for him.
Let's try and end on a high note.
He's not had the easiest of days. Just a bit too much at the end of the day.
Yep. So Gasset to finish 9th in the weight class. Seems pretty well set. That it does not happen often that a title contender finishes 9th.
Of the USA going for the 93 kilo sub-junior world title.
6 more pulls to go. 2 in the 93s, 4 in the 105s.
So Cohen now 297.5 to go from silver to gold overall. Oh,
he doesn't
just
have
couldn't
it,
get it
Gary.
there. The Gould holds onto the gold medal position while Cohen sits in the silver.
Unless Dante Urquiza does something crazy, it's Adam Gold who's going to become a world champion.
Absolutely no one saw him sneak in there. What that great final pull of 297.5. That was the difference, that one. So we've got one more lift to go in the 93s, but right now we jump into the 105s for Lassi from Finland for 297.5. This will push him up into the bronze medal for deadlift. He'll be ranked total as 4th overall. He stayed with it. He stayed with that technique.
Wow.
Never gave up when it gets the 3 white lights. Puts himself up into the medals for the deadlift for now. But now we jump back to the 93s for the final pull in the 93s.
But concerning Ethan Cohen, it makes you wonder, like, had he saved some gas and just loaded for 745 in the second round, he might have had that final pull in the title. Just work the numbers how they're supposed to be
Yeah, I
worked.
mean, was that a mistake? You know, did they bite off more they could chew in the second, use up too much gas? You've got to save something for that last pull. You've got to
Yeah.
have it there when you need it. So Dante, has he got what it takes? Is he going to knock Espen off the third position?
This would be a massive personal best. 10 kgs on the deadlift, 15 in total. It's a big ask. It's a big ask to knock his teammate off the podium.
Espen has been sitting there the whole time in the top three, waiting out the back, sweating bullets, and it comes down to this from his own teammate. And he has knocked him off. Dante takes the bronze medal away from Espen, so Espen will have to settle for fourth. But Mexico makes the podium. Great Britain, Adam Gould in the 93s with a monster pull to get a 750 total in the gold medal position. Ethan Cohen just misplanned it and couldn't pull the 297 and a half and takes the silver. But don't go away because we've still got the 105s to finish.
And Espen has nothing to be ashamed about. He collects a silver in the squat, bronze in the bench, and was shooting in the dark. He lands just 2.5 below the podium.
What an amazing performance from Espen, though, to not be able to see what the rest are doing and still be sitting there up within those top three. Michael Cruz down the 105s for 305. This will push him into the second position for deadlift. He is in the silver medal position overall. I am not 100% convinced that neither of the referees that he couldn't quite lock that out.
But what wasn't locked up? Was it the knees, the hips?
Still feel like his right shoulder was still rolled over. That's a better angle.
I think
the
it's
coach
the
is taking
knees.
it. Yeah, so the knees are a bit soft there.
Because shoulders were behind the bar, so
Yeah,
according
that
to the
angle was a
rulebook,
lot
that's
better.
fine.
Yep.
But yeah, the knees were a little bit iffy.
So Grushka now 317 and a half. This will push him from bronze to silver overall, and from silver to gold in the deadlift.
Didn't see that one coming. I thought it was going to be a safe third. But as mentioned before, he has the luxury to look ahead. No need to look in the mirrors. So with Cruz missing, he's taking the opportunity. And he sees the moment.
He just can't get it back there. You can see coach waving at him, encouraging, but just couldn't quite get it there.
Yeah, it was a big ask. Personal best of 15. Still is on the podium at the World Championship. Great performance out of Simon Grushka.
Well, we're going to finish on an incredible lift. Austin Wilson has put in 332 for his final lift. This will give him a world deadlift. This is actually sub-junior deadlift and sub-junior total world record. Current total world record is 836.5. This will put him at 838.5. It's a huge, huge lift. 332 and a half.
Yeah, the total record belongs to Demir Hamza from Austria. Established in 2023.
It's been standing for a while now.
And the bar is loaded. Austin Wilson.
So he is the gold medalist already. He is the gold medalist in the deadlift as well. He's got the world record squat. Can he get the world record deadlift and world record total? 315 looked good. 332, is it a stretch?
He managed to make everything believable so far.
So Austin, it's yours for the taking.
2 records with 1 lift.
He's there. Did he get it? He does. 3 white lights. He held it there for a while. What a way to finish, though. Monster world records. Absolutely outstanding. He had to hold it up there for a bit. Took him a little bit to lock it, but he got it there in the end. And there are our final results for the 93s in the deadlift, with Cora with 307 Dante with 300, and Gult with 297.5. And there are our 105 deadlift results. Wilson with 332. What a fantastic pull for the world record. Grushka with 302 and Lassie with 297.5. And the overall standings in the 93s, Adam Gould, Great Britain, takes the gold medal with 750. Cohen couldn't pull that last one to take the gold on 747.5. And Dante from Mexico with 745. And in the 105s, Austin Wilson, 838.5 kilos for a world record total, storming miles ahead of Michael Cruz in 785 and Grushka on 770 with the bronze. What a way to finish. It doesn't get better than this. Don't go away. We've got the medal ceremony coming up very, very soon. And of course, we'll have the women's sub-junior 69 to 84 pluses this afternoon at 2 p.m. local time.
silver medal with 277.5 kilos goes to Giancarlo Espin, Mexico. Squad gold with 285 kilos goes to Dante Urquiza, Mexico. Congratulations, gentlemen, thank you. Moving on with the bench press. Bronze medal with 175 kilos goes to Giancarlo Espin, Mexico. Silver medal with 182.5 kilos goes to Adam Gold, Great Britain. And bench press gold with 187.5 kilos goes to Ethan Cohen, USA. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. Moving on to deadlift. In bronze medal position with 297.5 kilos, Adam Gold, Great Britain. Deadlift silver with 300 kilos goes to Dante Urquiza, Mexico. And deadlift gold with 307.5 goes to Will Worrell, Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Now for the total rankings. In bronze medal position with 745 kilos in total is Dante Urquiza, Mexico. Silver medal and the title of the vice champion goes to Ethan Cohen, USA. And with 750 kilos, the world sub-junior 93 champion is Adam Gold, Great Britain. Please stand if you're able to for the British national anthem. Stand on the podium for the photo. Congratulations once again. 105s get ready. In the meantime, one final applause for the 93s. DC. the sport event, bronze medal with 295 kilos goes to Michael Cruz, USA. Squad silver with 302.5 kilos goes to Simon Gruszka, Poland. And squad gold with a new sub-junior world record of 321.5 goes to Austin Wilson, USA. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. Moving on to bench press. In bronze medal position with 165 kilos is Simon Gruszka, Poland. Bench press silver with 185 goes to Austin Wilson, USA. And the gold medal in the bench press with 195 goes to Michael Cruz, USA. Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations once again. Moving on to deadlifts. In bronze medal with 297.5, we have Lassi Martiniemi, Finland. Deadlift silver with 302.5 goes to Simon Gruszka, Poland. Deadlift gold with a new sub-junior world record of 332.5 goes to Austin Wilson, USA. Congratulations, thank you. Now for the total rankings. In bronze medal position with 770 kilos in total is Simon Gruszka, Poland. Silver medal and the title of the vice champion with 785 kilos goes to Michael Cruz, USA. And the 105 sub-junior world champion with a new world record total of 838.5 is Austin Wilson, USA.